So with it, so I'm analyzing the set of yours, Hero, Sheik versus Puff. I've watched a little bit of it, and it seems like your game plan against Puff in general is pretty solid. You seem to be using your, it's important against Puff to pressure her with your aerials, and to use your aerials, like when you're trying to force her into a range where she's diagonal to you, so you can either back air her or fair her. And then against ground of the Puff, your aerials are also really good. So with that said, let's go to the match. I'll open up Notepad. I like what you're doing here. I like what you're doing here a lot. Although when Puff is in the corner, when Puff is in the corner like this, pretty much most every top sheik will just hold center and charge needles. Just because it's really, when Puff gives you an opportunity to charge needles, you should generally take it, just because needles open up so many things for you. Needles open up so many things in this matchup. The needles represent extra damage, so you can get Puff to kill % faster. She has a hard time challenging them if you're just holding center and charging needles. So I think that's going to be the first note. When Puff is in the corner, charge needles. Charge needles and force her to approach is the best way to put it. Because you either force her to approach or you just get to charge needles and go full stack. Or you get to charge needles with a full stack. You get to charge needles to a full stack, just needle her, throw needles at her. Or force her to approach, all of which are really good options for you. I don't love approaching Puff like this. And I also don't love approaching Puff with F-tilts just because she can duck under them and rest you. I guess. See, F-tilt Puff, I guess trying to catch her in the air, which works. That's totally fine. But this is a great example of a time when you should be trying to get that diagonal angle to her. And when you should be trying to take center stage back. So instead of staying here, I would rather see you go to the side. Go to the side, go right here and threaten the backer on her. I think that'd be much definitely just a safer option. And it's really important to play safe against Puff, just because she has so many ways to fuck you up for being aggressive, for being over aggressive. So just something to be careful of. Something to be careful of, and also getting being below Puff in a situation like this isn't necessarily that good, because her down air has a pretty amazing hitbox. If you look at Shogi Puff from data SSBM, the downer hitbox is actually pretty damn strong. It's also it's just strong for contesting your aerials that you might do in that position. So in this position, you should be worried about downer. So that's a big reason to dash back here or here, away dash back, so that you can pressure Jigglypuff Puff with your fair and fair instead of just getting jerked under her like this. Because I assume you were just trying to, you were trying to wait her out or something, or waiting for her to act as a shield, but you just got fucked up for it. You don't get hit that bad, it isn't that bad, but it's definitely something to be aware of, because you really want to get as much, you want to play as safely against Puff as possible, and this downer she did. Like, this down air was actually pretty... I guess it wasn't great for her, but it definitely could have been amazing for her. So an important thing, like, good thing to note, when you have the ability to get to the center stage and reclaim it, to definitely take it. And if you have, so next note is gonna be, if you have an opportunity to take stage, do it. So that you can get back to charging needles. Needles are huge in this matchup, and I think most of my notes are probably going to revolve around your needle usage. I would also try to put yourself in situations I don't know what that notification was. Anyway, so try and put yourself in situations where you threaten Puff with a fair or bear, with a rising fair or bear. Like those coming from above with forward air, or coming from below with forward air, and coming from above with back air, or coming from below with back air, are really good. Like, you never really want to be, when Puff's in the air, you never want to be horizontal playing with her. Like, if you're horizontal to her and her back is turned, you pretty much have to respect the back air, and like, so if she's, and you have to respect her back air. So instead, what you want to do is either, if you're on the ground, you gotta like dash dance around the range or shield stop around the range or something like that. And if you're on a platform, then you can approach Puff and you can approach Puff through her back air. Okay, just a little bit of slop. The dash attack is fine. And there's not really much purpose behind this dash attack. Actually, I guess there is. Dash attack was really close to hitting, and you just get center stage through it. Okay, don't do this. No, don't give up center stage for free. I think that's one of the main patterns I've noticed in your play. You very often give up center stage for free, and holding, like, center stage is really important in this matchup just because you have a threat of needles. So when you're in this situation, you should be charging needles and forcing Puff to come to you. I don't think going to the platform over here is a good idea. I don't think like going to the top platform is a good idea, just because you don't have much reason to. Like, there's pretty much no reason for you to go to the top platform here because Puff isn't immediately threatening you. And you could even go to this side platform and be aggressive from there if you really wanted to. So I think this is a big no-no, what you do here. So don't let Puff get center stage for free. Like you did at 015. Like, this is fine, but I think you'd rather have just a needle stack charged than take these needles. Like, these are fine. You can even, I think, even, actually I guess she's not in fair range. Yeah, she's not in fair range, so a fair wouldn't work. I guess, like, needles are fine. Needles were a good idea in the situation. But I don't think you should put yourself in that kind of situation when you could instead just hold center stage. And this is a solid short hop. I think I agree with it. I agree with the short hop. He kind of just got beat in the mix-up game by posting a rising aerial. Okay, down smashes are a little bit iffy because Puff can down smash, or Puff can rest down smash if she's perfect. The grab is lazy, not really definitely not exactly a thoughtful grab. It feels like. How'd you get cornered? Okay, you just teched into the corner. Yeah, be careful. Be really careful about grabbing Puff out of her attacks, just because she could have just crouched. She could have just crouched here. Like she could have just crouched here, and just like she could have just crouched here, and just rested you for this grab, and that's exactly the kind of situation she's trying to create. So don't auto pallet grabs. Like be careful about grabbing Puff when she's on the ground. You can pretty much only grab Joey Puff in this matchup when you're whiff punishing her, like when you're directly whiff punishing her. So it's really important not to throw out reckless grabs without thinking. So don't throw out reckless grabs like you did at 0-21. Very easily. You can get rested for it very easily. Like, all Puff needs to do to kill you in this situation is just rest. Okay, just approaching in the backer. So this is where the note about approaching in the Puff's approaching into Puff's area applies, because you really can't. It's my cat. It's my cat Asha. Like you really can't. You can't really directly approach into this. Can you not? You really can't directly approach into this. Just because, like, you can't approach into the threat of Joey Puff's backer. There's also doesn't look like there's much reason to the. Okay, I guess this kind of makes sense. I guess you're trying to, like, wall out Puff's backer with your fair. But the spacing was just too far. Spacing was too far. If you want to attack Joey Puff like this, you gotta get inside her backer range. And she was just... Actually, so I guess Puff started at the range where you want to short hop fair her, so I guess this makes sense. Like, I guess I'm fine with this. But here, at this... So when you find yourself in this spacing, like, this spacing is a really advantageous for Puff, and you shouldn't, as much as possible, you should try to avoid it if you can. So I think even going to the platform would have worked out. You could have, like, walked in, shield, because you have to be, when you're at this range, it's just like you just have to respect the backer. So you have to either shield stop into it or dash dance around it, or go around it with a platform movement. So I think that's one thing you do really well, platform movement. So I think from the corner against Puff, I think you should be more mobile on the platforms, and not put yourself in situations like this where you're on the ground, horizontal with Puff, approaching into her backer range. Because if you do approach, you want to use shield. Like, you want to approach so that you can play defense out of your movement. So you want to approach the shield stops or dash dance around the backer, not just walk directly into it. Like, you should never be trying to forward tilt backers. Never, ever. I see you were trying to scoop her up, and actually, if you had dashed forward, you would have been able to get under her. And if you did like dash forward, rising there, you would have been able to hit her. Just because like from this position, it's actually pretty fine. Like, but your action took so long that the position then turned into Puff being horizontal to you. Like you're in this position, and when you're in this position, you can just dash forward, get under her, and avoid your backer that way. But like dash forward, get under her, avoid her backer that way, or dash forward, short hop in there to stuff her move, to stuff her backer. I assume that was in there. Okay, I see why you shield dropped aerialed. Shield dropped aerialed. I see why you F tilted. So you're dashing around the barrier, good job. Approaching into it with shield stop, good shit. I assume you were trying to nair that. That was just a late nair. So again, you were just kind of like, with Puff horizontal to you, you were staying in that back air range. Like you were staying in the back air range, and you were zoning while in that range, and like Puff isn't trying to come into you when she's out of that range. She's just trying to back air you. So again, I would have rather seen you just like hold center, like either like. Actually, I guess what happens. We're trying to turn around. Like this, as much as possible, you want to avoid situations like this. So you could have avoided the situation by just staying in center and charging needles again. Like, I think that's like I'm pretty sure this is going to be the main thing I noticed in this set. That you put yourself in this position when you don't have to. Like you put yourself in this position when Puff is cornered. You chase her down in the corner, and then she just back airs you for free. Like you're just presenting her with the opportunity to back air you. Okay, late shield drop. That should have been a runoff fair. And at this spacing, I'm going to be aerialing her. Jab can get rested. Jab can get rested for sure at this range. Like, jab can get rested on hit, I'm pretty sure. And if you, like, you definitely want to be aerialing here. If you aerial instead in that situation, you win out. Like, if you short hop back and just go over a fair. Sick tech. Okay, kind of just throwing out moves, kind of flailing. What happened? So you double jumped away from throw to back air. Okay. Again, you do this movement pattern a lot. You do this specific movement pattern a lot. I mean, it's not really a problem, but it's something I've noticed while watching you play. if you play against better players, and they could probably read it pretty hard. Like they could read it and just camp out, like hold center, see you wave on his top platform, and immediately try and up air you. Like try and put an up air right here. And as much as possible, you should try and stay away from having hard patterns in your play. Like you want to be as reactive as possible. Unless you're like Fox or Falco, then you get to be proactive and impose your will on your opponent. But even then, you're still playing reactively, and even then, you should still try and avoid having recognizable patterns that your opponent can latch onto. Okay, not really any reason to bear to the platform there. Like the bear was accomplishing pretty much nothing. Puff dashes away from your threat of shield trap burial. No real. Again, this seems like a thoughtless down smash. Like it seems like you're just not really. Like it seems like you're flailing just because you don't really know what to do. But okay, so if you look at the situation before a down smash. You have Puff. You have Puff in back air range, in her back air range. So I think, like, down smash still gets rested here. Or down smash gets back aired here. So, I mean, I think if you should be dashing into Puff to get, like, inside her back air range, like, using your shield stop to get in, like, to dash into her. Like, you could rising near her at this range. I can just go back to the platforms. Like, going back to the platforms or dashing back here would also be solid options. But the down smash doesn't really accomplish anything. Like, it doesn't stop Puff from coming in with back air. Puff's not, like, going to be hit by it because she's so far away from you. And it just commits. It's just, like, such a long commitment that it means that Puff can just go right back and setting up another back air. So here, well, what do you do? So here, you just put yourself right into Puff's back air range. Look at that. There it is. There's the back air range. So trying to put, so I'm going to add an addendum. We're diagonal to Puff and can threaten her. So stay away from being horizontal. Don't jump into I think I'm going to analyze one more stock, just because I think I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna analyze the next stock. The next stock appears, and just watch the other two. See if there are any continuing patterns or confirmed patterns. So here's a great example of a situation where you should be aggressive instead of defensive. Because that needle, in this situation, you can threaten Puff with the forward air, with the rising forward air very easily. And you should be looking for that. Like, you should be hitting Puff with the rising forward air at this range. Because that would beat out this nair she does. So I think this is one situation where I want to see you be aggressive out of. I'm gonna screenshot this. Copy. Can I paste in the notepad? There's no real reason to dash dance in place like you did here. Like you're pretty much just staying in the same spot. Puff is just nairing into you right here. You could also cover that, there she was that, with the rising nair too. But I guess if you don't take the opportunity to be aggressive with her, you should just like back up to the platform, I guess. Like back up to the platform or like back up and charge needles. Don't auto pellet down smash. You could have gotten arrested for that grab. You should have been arrested for that grab, actually. Puff just messed up. If Puff was on point there, she'd arrest you for that grab every time. And so you put yourself in Puff's back air range again. You put yourself in Puff's back air range without doing a fair. Like if you fair here, you win. Like if you fair here, you beat Puff. And I think it's really important that you fair when you see the spacing start to happen. Because like fairing here, if you could have gotten F-told off it, you could have gotten another aerial off it. I don't see a real reason to not fair here. I guess maybe you're trying to needle. As is, you get back aired. Okay, good stuff. I got, You just walked a little bit too far forward for the F-tilt and you whiffed it. Happens. It happens. Okay, good shield stop. That's what I'm talking about when I say you should move into Puff's back air range with defense. No real need to double jump away from there. If you don't double jump, you could have got a needle angle on her. So I think that's definitely something I want to see you work on more. Like not burning your double jump, like not burning your double jump when you don't have to, or like not burning your double jump when the full jump like does the job just fine. Because if you full jump there, that's a needle. It's a needle into a run off fair every time. Well, I guess yeah, like it worked out fine, but you could have gotten run off fair if you had full jumped. If you hadn't double jumped. Okay, wave dash back to get around the back air range. Be careful about just walking into Puff in situations like this. Or at least like do the F-tilt earlier. Like do the F-tilt when you see her shield drop. Because that shield drop is going to be only one thing. It's going to be drifting into you. Back air drifting into you. Were you trying to fart him or something? I think there would have worked. I mean, I guess you also don't have to fight Puff in that situation. Like in this one. Like in this situation, actually, you could just Rising Fair her. You could just totally just full hop Rising Fair her. I think this is a perfect example of one of the situations where you should be looking to Rising Fair her. Okay. Just fair her. That was iffy too. That was very iffy. I guess you were reacting to the shield, so it's fine. F tilt. You'd wave dash F tilt there. You'd wave dash jab too. No, just pressure her. Pressure with back air. Pressure her with back air at the spacing. Like this is a big problem. This is something I'm noticing pop up a lot. That you get into these situations where you actually have an advantage on Puff, because you can Rising aerial her, we can Rising back her, Rising fair her, and she can't really do much to contest the aerials. But you just give it up. You give it up. You don't. This double jump doesn't accomplish anything. It does, I guess, it ends up getting you a fair, but I think you could have gotten an aerial with a lot less work, and you just gave up center for like you gave up center and let Puff have it instead of holding it. Oh, I really want to see hold center more. I think that's a big thing I've noticed from watching you play. Okay, just gonna watch the next ones and pause when I see important stuff. Actually, what just happened? Okay, yeah, don't go ham with pressuring Puff when she's on the ledge. Like, definitely don't do it. Like, this is way too aggressive, and you get punished for it really hard. Don't go Rambo. Don't Rambo the ledge. Okay, fine, shield grab. Dude, please. Please. Don't. Just try, like, shield grabbing Puff is generally not a thing. Just because she's either back airing you or she's crossing you up. And it's really dangerous because she can just crouch and air you, like, crouch rest you. Like, she can crouch your grab and then rest you and, like, just kill you for it. I think you were trying to F tilt there. Sometimes you just need a shield though. And you get rested. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to analyze. I think there was a lot to take away from that. I hope that it helps you. Yeah, I guess the big points to take away. Don't give Puff center stage for free. Like when you have center stage, hold it and use your center stage to charge needles. When you have Puff at a diagonal angle, like this one, this is a situation where you have the advantage because if you dash forward and jump right here, your fair covers right there where she's coming in. It actually covers more like there where she's coming in. So if you jump from here, you can jump up and fair her. And if she retreats, you can just sit back and charge needles. And if she makes it, like, you can even nair her if she falls low enough. If she like falls low enough from here and drifts in this way, you can nair her. But this situation is one where you have the advantage, and I want to see you use it to full hop aerial, like full hop rising aerial a lot more. Like both when Puff's on the platform and just when she's in the air diagonally to you. Like when you're diagonal to her on the ground with her in the air. Then rising and aerials become really good. Like rising backer is really good for those situations, and so is rising fair. And you can also wave dash in. Like you could wave dash in here, like walk forward and just scoop her up with an F tilt. That would also work. Other big takeaways: don't throw out reckless grabs. It's really important that you don't throw out reckless grabs. Reckless grabs in this matchup. Puff can punish you very hard for it, and it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy for her since her wave dash ducks her below grab, and she can also just crouch after aerials and pretty much make them unshield grabbable. And then she just nairs you for them. So it's really important that you don't spam shield grab in this matchup and only grab when you're whiff punishing her or when she is shielding. Those are the only two times you're allowed to grab Puff in this matchup. If you have... So when Puff's in the corner, charge needles and force her to approach. Needles are really important in this matchup, and having a full stack of them means that you can actually grab Puff reliably, since you can just throw you can throw a full stack from short hop or from full hop, and just grab her off those. And you can also throw a full stack from the platform, like full hop to the platform, throw needles, throw a full stack, and then combo into run off fair. Is really good. Don't let Puff get center stage for free. Big, huge, important thing. Because, like, it's not necessarily that Puff wants center stage. Like, I mean, she does. Of course, every character in Melee wants center stage. But the important thing is don't give up center stage for free. That's the important thing to take away. Don't give up center stage for free. Anything else that I can think of? I don't think so. And okay, also stay away from being horizontal with Puff in the air. Don't jump into bear's threat range. Like, don't put yourself horizontal to Puff if at all possible. Or if you are horizontal to Puff, you have to respect her back air range. And you have to either like use your dash dance to get around it and time your dash dance with her back airs, or you shield stop to get inside her back air range. You can also use running crouch to get inside her back air range in the same way. And if you're shroomed, you can just use short hop fair into it because Shrooms is a god and just makes hard reads all the time. And if you have an opportunity to take stage, do it so you can get back, so you can charge needles with it. Like, it's really important to think about center stage in this matchup. Just as think about needles in this matchup and how they relate to center stage. Like, and when you're in center stage, you have more room to needle charge and dash back with, so you have more room to charge needles safely. I guess the other big thing to take note that I think you could really apply to your play is taking advantage of these situations. Taking advantage of the situations where you're diagonal to Puff, and like where you're diagonal to Puff, and you can force your aerials upon her, because this really, if you watch Swedish play Puff, whenever he's pretty much every time he has an opportunity to rising bear or rising fair his opponent, like the Puff opponent, he takes it 99% of the time. So I think that's it. That should cover it. Hope this helped. Later.